Hi, Christel. Thank you so much for joining us today. I was wondering, could you kind of introduce yourself for everyone who might be listening or watching later down the road?
Yes, my name is Christel Youmans, and I am an agricultural program specialist with the South Carolina Farm Service Agency State Office. I am a native of the PD region in South Carolina, and my main focus, my main program is the Conservation Reserve Program, which we're going to be discussing today.
Wonderful. Amazing. So you said we're going to be speaking about the Conservation Reserve Program. Can I ask you just a basic question? What is the Conservation Reserve Program exactly?
So the Conservation Reserve Program is known as CRP. It's a voluntary program that contracts with agricultural producers so that environmentally sensitive agricultural land is not farmed or ranched, but instead it's devoted to conservation benefits. CRP participants establish long-term resource-conserving plant species, such as approved grasses or trees, which are also known as covers. And this is to control the soil erosion, improve water quality, and develop wildlife habitat. CRP is authorized by the Food Security Act of 1985, and it was reauthorized by the Agricultural Improvement Act of 2018, which is also known as the 2018 Farm Bill. And the program is implemented by FSA, which is the Farm Service Agency, on behalf of USDA's Commodity Credit Corporation.
Thank you so much for explaining that. That is wonderful. And I guess I'm wondering next, how would I know if I'm eligible for CRP, and what are those eligibility requirements?
So CRP must be cropland that has been planted or considered planted to an agricultural commodity for 4 of 6 years. And the years that we look at for eligibility are from 2012 to 2017. And that land must be physically and legally capable of being planted in a normal manner to an agricultural commodity. The land must also not have been planted any planting restrictions due to an easement or any other legally binding instrument.
My follow-up question would be, who can apply for CRP then?
So eligible participants for CRP can include individuals, general partnerships, joint ventures, corporations, limited liability companies, limited partnerships, limited liability partnerships, limited liability limited partnerships, estates, revocable trust, state and local governments, churches, charities, and nonprofit organizations, public schools, the Bureau of Indian Affairs or Indian represented by the BIA, irrevocable trust, individual operating as a small business or Indian tribal venture. A producer or landowner must have owned or operated the land for at least 12 months prior to submitting the offer for CRP. For continuous CRP, it's 12 months before the close of the general or grassland sign-up, unless there's a new owner acquired the land due to a previous owner's death.
So that's wonderful to hear, because it sounds like a lot of different kind of people and groups are able to participate in CRP. And my follow-up question to what you were mentioning there is, what different types of signups are available for CRP?
So CRP offers general, continuous, and grassland signups. Both general and grassland signups are announced by the national office, in which a producer or a landowner may make an offer, and they are accepted as a bid process and subject to ranking. Continuous signups are usually ongoing, and offers are accepted and approved at the local level. Currently, FSA has continuous CRP signup 57, which began October 1st, 2021. Offers for new land can be accepted through September 30th, 2022. And FSA also currently has the CRP Clear 30 sign-up, which began on April 1st, 2022, and it will end August 5th, 2022.
Now I'm wondering, what type of practices are available under the CRP program?
CRP offers many practices, such as establishment of introduced or native grasses, tree planting of loblolly or longleaf pines, buffer and filter strips, and pollinator habitats.
And so how long is the CRP contract for?
The duration of a CRP contract is 10 to 15 years, depending upon the practice. CRP Clear 30 or 30-year contracts. Also, certain practices may be eligible for re-enrollment upon expiration of a contract.
Okay, and so I guess my next question is, what is the annual rental payment for a CRP contract?
So FSA bases the rental rates on the relative productivity of the soils within each county and the average cash rent using data provided by the National Agriculture Statistics Service. The soil rental rates are subject to an 85% proration for general sign-up and a 90% proration for continuous sign-up. The maximum CRP rental rate for each offer is calculated in advance of enrollment, and producers may offer at that rate or offer at a lower rate. CRP grassland rates are based on 75% of the NASS pasture rate.
So I guess the next question could be, what are the environmental benefits of CRP?
So CRP protects more than 20 million acres of American topsoil from erosion, and it's designed to safeguard the nation's natural resources by reducing water runoff and sedimentation. CRP protects groundwater. It helps improve the condition of lakes, rivers, ponds, and streams, and is a major contributor to increased wildlife habitat populations in many parts of the country.
Wow, that's wonderful. It sounds like it has quite the impact throughout the entire country. There's actually another question I had. I was wondering if you could tell me a little bit more about the recent announcement in which CRP contracts that expire September 30th, 2022 can be voluntarily terminated.
Exceptional circumstances are shaping the global food production in 2022. This includes potential global food supply challenges caused by the Russian invasion of Ukraine. In the public's interest, USDA is waiving refunds and penalties for CRP participants who voluntarily request to terminate a CRP contract that is in its final year and it's set to expire September 30th, 2022. To be eligible for the waiver of refunds and penalties, the request for voluntary termination must be effective after the end of the 2022 primary nesting season for the applicable state and county. This waiver is only effective for fiscal year 2022. For this voluntarily termination only, FSA will waive requirements to refund all or a portion of the payments with respect to the CRP contract plus interest and liquidated damages. Participants will receive the full annual rental payment after October 1st, 2022 if all other eligibility requirements are met.
My very last question for you is, how can I learn more about CRP?
For more information on CRP, you can contact your local USDA Service Center or on the FSA website at www.fsa.usda.gov.
Well, thank you so much for all of that wonderful and very helpful information, Christel. Again, just thank you for being on. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me today, and I hope that a lot of your producers will be interested in what FSA has to offer for CRP.
Absolutely. Thank you.